Bringing Nutty, the ex-racehorse, back to work. That was beautiful. Welcome to episode 1 of Bring Nutty, the ex-racehorse, back to work and into an event horse. Hey Nutty! I feel like I look very dirty. I've just clipped Gatsby. I was tempted to do him, but I think I will do him when he's a bit more in work. I look really weird. I don't know if it's just the lighting. Anyway, we are going to, I can undo all this now, go into the school and do some pole work. So Nutty has had 5 months off ridden work. Last week he had the physio, which I'll put a little picture up there, and at the end of January he had the dentist, and he's been given the all clear, good to go, come back into ridden work. We've been told that he needs to do, his left hind needs to do a lot more work than his right hind, so raised poles going higher on the left, but he has been doing pole work all winter in hand, so that's what I'm going to show you guys today, what we've been doing whilst you're coming back into work. Hey buddy! I've also been given these exercises by my physio. I'm like 3/4 of the way through. Just do 20 tail pulls just on the left side, just so you can see his muscle coming and working. There you go, good boy. Every single day he's got to do 20 of those just on this side, just to make this hind a bit stronger again, because apparently it's a much weaker. Anyway, let's go to the school. I think this is such an odd light. So currently the school looks like this, bit of a mess. What I'm going to do is, they've obviously been free jumping over there. I'm going to keep one jump over there. And I'll use that at the end of the session, and then over this side I'm going to do a long line of poles. Nutty's just free to wander around for a bit, and you, good boy, hey fluff monster. So yeah, I'll do a line of walk poles along here with a lot of left ones raised, and then get him back on a lead rope. So what I've laid out is this long line of poles, mainly going to come that way, so we've got 3 risen on the left and 1 on the right. I might pop that black one down a bit, but I think it should be all right. So a long line of poles, then 2 poles put together which will wander over, and then a jump for him to do at the end, and I'll explain a bit more about why when he starts jumping it. But for now we have a pocket full of carrots and a pony. Let's get a lead rope on you. Good boy. So I thought I would do a bit of a voiceover whilst we're going over the poles. Otherwise you're just staring at me doing some poles. But essentially the aim of this is to get that right hind working, get his bum working, get him fit and strong before I get back on. And it's important to me that he's relaxed doing pole work. So if you've known Nutty, you know that he can be quite a stress head, like he panics doing pole work. When I first got him, if you go all the way back, you'll know that I couldn't even get him to walk over a single pole. So I've been doing a lot of pole work with him, keeping him calm and relaxed. You'll see here I stop to pick up the pole, which causes him to knock the pole he's halfway over. But it's important that his head is low and stretched out, and he's using himself over his back rather than being all tense and horrible. So we walk around over these poles quite a few times. I don't think I leave all of it in, but essentially you'll see that he starts pretty useless. He's knocking the poles all the time, And he does end by being aware of his feet, picking them up, putting the effort in. And I do that, I think, only twice with him, leaving them all up. And that's where we leave it. So he knows that that's a good job and he is all done, and that's what he's meant to do. I also have carrots in my pocket, so every time he goes down the poles and doesn't knock anything, he gets a carrot. So I'm really reinforcing that do it correctly, you get rewarded, and you don't have to do it very often. Of course, over time I'll build it up so that he has to do multiple times fine before he gets the carrot and stops. But just for now, we just build it up slowly, positive reinforcement. So he's really learning that it's easy, he gets rewarded for it, and I think I'm giving him a carrot there. And that it's a happy place to be, so that when we move on to jumping, again, it's still poles, isn't it? They're just in the air. He knows that he can be relaxed around poles. So that's essentially what I'm doing here. Also, I want to build up his top line before I get on, because his saddle's obviously fitted to when he's in work. He's strong. So if he's got a top line built up, his saddle should fit better, and therefore he should be more comfortable when coming back into work. So if you guys have any questions on this, please do let me know in the comments. But I think I only go down a couple more times now, and then we move on to the next exercise. Good boy, well done. So again, I did film a whole introduction to this exercise on the day, but the wind is just a bit too loud for you to be able to hear me. But essentially what I'm doing is, this is 2 poles in a straight line, and I am just walking up and down them, getting Nutty to cross over the poles backwards and forwards, nice and relaxed, and hopefully getting him to pick up his feet. This is probably his second time ever doing this, so he has no clue really what I'm asking him to do. The aim of this is to get him learning where his feet are going, being confident of that. It's also very good to get him working across his back, stepping over the pole, stretching over there, and just being supple, bendy, and happy to walk over that pole. You will see he knocks it a lot to begin with, but I do it quite a few times, and then once he had no idea what he was doing there. Once he gets used to it, we move on to something else. He gets a carrot and he's a happy boy, and then we'll probably won't try this one again in this session, just because it is a new exercise that I like to leave it until the next session. He is doing pole work about twice a week at the moment, maybe even 3 times a week, to really build up that fitness and that strength. So I don't need to do it again in this session. Good boy. So now we move on to a bit of lateral work. You'll just see me splitting the carrot in my mouth there. But I'm just working on getting his core engaged, getting him supple. You'll see here he's almost doing a turn on the forehand. We haven't quite got that completely yet, but I put no physical pressure on him. I just ask him to walk round. If you zoom in, you can see that his core is really working on this. And he's understanding what I'm asking him. This we've done a lot over the winter, just getting him moving his body from side to side, going around in circles. We do a bit of rein back, again just making sure he's aware of his body, seeing what muscles are working, what aren't, and do rein back quite a few times, getting preferably those legs to move back in pairs. And rein back obviously does come into a dressage test much later on in eventing, but it is really good for them to know how to do it. And if you work it from the ground, it's much easier to teach when you're on them. Then I just move back again, just getting him to move round in circles, this time just giving him a carrot once he's gone both ways. He's very clever in the fact that once you've given him a carrot, he knows what he's got to do, and then he does try to preempt you, which makes it slightly more difficult. And then I believe we're about to do some leg yielding. Again, I try to not touch his side at all and try to not touch his head. He does get quite carried away with just sort of walking forwards, or then he'll walk backwards a bit while still going sideways. So it's just holding his head to make sure he's still going forwards but not just walking forwards. We want some sideways in there as well. So I do that twice on each rein, just getting him really moving his body across. It's so good for him. You can see he's still quite stiff. Doesn't particularly like doing this, but it is so good for him to just get those legs crossing over, not walking too far forwards. I know a lot of people do it where those two poles in a straight line, they will just ask their horse to move perfectly sideways over that. That's not something Nutty can do. It's also not something he will ever need to do in a dressage test or anything like that. A leg yield always has forward movement in it. So that's what we're practicing, but I want to get it to where his head doesn't need to be round following me. You'll see here his bum actually gets a bit carried away and leaves his shoulders behind, so it's just keeping him as flat as I can in the body, and he'll wander across and then he'll do it the same way but back towards us. But I found this has been really beneficial in building up those muscles, making him nice and supple. And actually, I think it would have really helped him once I get back on and actually ask him to do this under saddle as well. Kinds of exercises we like to do on the floor. We mix it up with a few different pole works. Very good boy, aren't you? And then I'll probably keep playing with him, just mixing it out between the poles, those poles, and a bit of bits. So, hope you guys have enjoyed all that. Nutty has been doing this for about 3 months, maybe once or twice a week. So he's getting there. Like things like the poles, he's probably 10 times better than when he started. He used to knock everything down and be kicking all the ones on the floor as well. But now he's much better and can do nice raised poles by the end. He's been doing the leg yielding, again for about 3 months. And to begin with, it was a battle to get him to understand what I wanted him to do. So we've had a bit of a play, done the poles again, he's kept them all up beautifully. So now I'm just going to try and get him confident, just popping the little the little pole. Basically my aim here is to get him seeing that jumping is fun, he can do it on his own, he doesn't need to stress, and to get him jumping in a lovely relaxed technique. That is your lead rope clip. So we're going to try and get him to go calmly over it and just see that it's not as scary as he thinks it is, because he tends to see a jump and he'll just bolt towards it and throw himself over it. So we're getting him to see, even on his own, that he can just trot over it or canter over it nicely and use himself. So it's pretty small. I'd probably say it's about 60 or 70. And then I'll pop it up once he's nice and calm over that, about 5 centimetres bigger, and then I'll pop it down again just to make sure he's enjoying himself. So that's the plan. Safe to say he's calm and relaxed. You're not really feeling it today, are you, bud? Forwards. You'll have to excuse the dogs barking in the background. But it is lovely to see Nutty look at a jump and just trot so beautifully and calmly up to it. No stress. God, he's about to walk. Good boy. So we just do it a couple of times on each rein and then I'll pop it up. I will try and get him to canter on this rein as well. Just to make sure he is nice and calm and relaxed in general. But what we want is his head to be down. Good boy. And he's just using his bum, not just throwing himself over. Nutty! Okay, go the other way then. But yeah, keep that head nice and low. You'll see he might go a bit footsore because he's got no shoes on. And he is quite a sensitive little boy. But there's no point putting any shoes on until he's back in proper work and doing road work. Good boy! So, yeah, lovely to just have him nice and calm and pop him. You can do your poles, I wouldn't, they're for walk. Good boy. Good. So we'd like his head a little bit lower, but he does drop it just before the jump. Right, let me see if I can get him into canter. Right, we're cantering, but are we going to stay in canter? And keep that nice rhythm. See his lovely rhythm. Beautiful, Nutty! Oh, I'm so proud. Good boy. Good boy. He does know that I have carrots here still, so sometimes when he's done a beautiful jump, he does pop over to me for a carrot. But apparently not now. Right, let's canter on the other rein, and then I'll pop up. Oh no, he's going again. Good boy. Have a canter. Good. Whew. See, when he wants to, he can jump absolutely beautifully, and he jumped that massive, but it's just getting in his head that when the jumps go up, he can still do it because he does have such a beautiful jump. He just sort of panics and throws himself over it. But, I mean, you can see I'm not even asking him to go now, and he's just... Oh, good boy. Right, I'll try and change the rein. See, we want this nice, low head, steady rhythm. Beautiful. I reckon there was probably a little stride in there, but he can do it like that. Good boy. Sorry, there's quite a lot in the way of the camera. You can trot it if you want to. Good boy. Nice. So because he's jumping it so lovely and relaxed, I'm just going to pop it up to the one in front. So you'll see here that he'll probably run out or stop just because it's gone up and he's not really expecting it, and he is just that little bit less brave once it's gone up. Oh, I'm going to eat my words because that was beautiful. Good boy. Well done. Good. Nice. Good boy. Woo. So all I'm going to do is change the rein. Hopefully he goes that beautifully on the other rein. I'll pop it back down for once more on either rein, and then that'll be him all done, because there's no point overdoing it. If he's jumping it beautifully, you're going to need to go a bit faster than that. Good boy. Yeah, if he's jumping it beautifully, I'm not pushing him to do, I'm not stressing him out. He doesn't need to do it more than just a few times to get confidence. So he changed the rein pretty easily and has actually jumped it from trot. So he's picking up the pace now, which I don't quite like. Beautiful jump though, steady. There, that's a nice canter. Good boy. Steady. Beautiful. That'll do. Good boy. Woo. He actually is quite enjoying himself once he gets started. That was beautiful. Nice and calm. Here's a good boy. Do you want a carrot? He won't come near me now. Once I've pushed him away, because he follows me like a little dog. Once I pushed him away, he doesn't quite understand that I would like him to come back to me. You're not going to jump it from a walk, sweetheart. That's a really bad idea. Yeah, I turn around. Good boy. Right, I'll pop it down. I'm not really sure he needs it popped down because he didn't stress about that at all. He jumped it beautifully. But pop it down anyway, just to be sure. Watch him fall over there. Just to be sure that he is happy and confident. And he believes that he can jump beautifully from a canter and a trot. And then he'll go in. Good boy. Nice. Beautiful. Good boy. There we go. All done. Happy pony. So that is the first episode of Nutty coming back to work, from ex-racehorse to event horse. Done. Yes, you can have that bit of carrot. So I'm just going to wander him around a bit. It's like he's not even sweaty. That was a good job. Yeah, just walk him around a bit before he goes back to his stable. Oh, it's a bit windy now. But if you guys have any questions on what else I'm doing or anything you want to see in particular, please do let me know in the comments. And I'll see you guys next week for episode 2 of Casper's series, which will be Eventers Camp.